Everybody, Chan Shady's here, and welcome back to another video. Today, we are here on assoluto grip racing because I wanted to go ahead and test a brand new car that I recently just bought. And this car kind of has to prove something to me right now. This car kind of has something to prove. See, in the game, and by the way, this is the BMW M5 from 2005. In the game, this car cost a total of $110,000. So very overpriced, in my opinion. Basically, this car's task today is to prove me wrong through a series of challenges. So far, the stats on it from the factory they're okay. It makes a very healthy power number at 500 horsepower dead from an NAV8, but it weighs 1,820 kilograms, which is very, very heavy. I'm pretty sure that's actually heavier than what my GTR came from the factory. So, yeah. This thing has something to prove. Is it worth 110 grand? I don't think so yet, but this car's goal is to prove me wrong. First, I want to take it to Nürburgring. After that, I want to take it to the circle course to see if it'll drift, which I have no doubt in my mind that it'll be able to do with rear wheel drive and 500 NA horsepower. And then lastly, I'm probably just gonna take it to some random track, maybe Fuji Speedway, since I haven't done that track on a video yet. And we'll see where this is gonna go. So, one lap around Nürburgring. Traction control, ABS. Okay, all that's good. And this car came stock on sports tires from the factory. Again, this car is completely bone stock. Completely bone stock. There are no upgrades under this thing whatsoever. The only thing that I did when I bought this car was A, paint the wheels black, and B, give it red brake calipers, and that's it. Like, the brakes themselves aren't even upgraded. They're just painted red. So we're going to see what this thing does. So far, this thing is actually pretty good through the corners. It's heavy. Well, okay, it has a little bit of understeer, but regardless of that, even though it's heavy, it manages its weight pretty well. I think that little bit of body roll that it has, I was thinking that was going to be a disadvantage for the car when I first saw it, but now that I think about it, I think that's actually going to be, that might actually be helpful for the car because it may help it control its weight. I'm going to brake coming over the crest. There we go, just like that. So far, this thing actually feels pretty nice. Thankfully, I'm driving pretty well today, even though I haven't been in the game for a pretty long time. But yeah, so far it's actually been almost kind of a dream to drive. Oh Lord, it's doing that glitch again, where like regardless of me touching the steering arrow, the car doesn't actually turn for some reason. It's so weird. It's so broken more than anything. But geez, I hope it doesn't do that while we're drifting around a circle course, because that's gonna be kind of, well, actually, now that I think about it, I'm barely ever holding the arrow while going around the circle course anyway. So now that I think about it, it'll be fine if it does it around the circle course, or if it tries to do it. First impressions on this car though. Power, amazing. This thing is like, what did it do? Like 150 almost on that last straightaway. Like, that is properly fast. Like, that is not slow in any way, shape, or form. Especially for Jesus Christ, a big freaking four-door sedan. One thing I am going to say though, with 500 horsepower on sport tires, it does want to drift on places other than the circle course. In particular, here, I can definitely feel the back end wanting to step out coming out of slower corners. Like a lot. And this thing definitely has some traction issues to it. Oh, yeah, and that's the understeer I was talking about earlier. So it's not the best track car before a four-door sedan. I actually think it's doing all right. I mean, front-end rear-wheel drive four-door sedan with like roughly 500 horsepower. You can essentially think of this as like a German Dodge Charger 392. You can essentially think of this as like a German Charger Scat Pack. That's basically what this is. You know, big power four-door sedan. It even makes nearly the exact same power number as the Dodge Charger 392 NAV8. Because if I'm not mistaken, that engine makes what? 485 horsepower? 495? One of the two numbers? And this is 500 even. And I'm also not sure how much this thing weighs compared to a Charger Scat Pack. I'd have to convert the weight to pounds to see, but I think this may actually be like almost dead on the exact same weight as the Charger at 1,800 kilograms. Ooh, okay. Brake. Okay, understeer. And there's oversteer. There's the drift. So this thing definitely does want to kick the back end out under power. Into the carousel. Little too tight into the carousel, actually. Carousel could have been a little bit tighter, but not bad overall, actually. Like, I've had runs where I've just like completely overshot the carousel upon entry. So considering that run through the carousel right there actually wasn't bad. This thing is actually proven to be a pretty good track car. It's holding its own around Nürburgring, and it's not doing, again, besides the slight understeer problem, this thing is actually not doing bad at all. Like, I know what some cars will do is that whatever gear they get traction in from a launch in a straight line, they don't like to hook up in that gear coming out of corners. That's not the case in this car. This thing it spins through first and hooks in second from a dead stop, but it doesn't like, at least typically, it doesn't really want to spin through second coming out of corners. Like, it's actually pretty good at keeping itself together. I'm just gonna say, this is looking like it's gonna be a fast lap time for a big four-door sedan. This thing looks like it's gonna be flying. As always, I'm curious to see what the top speed is down the back straight. Jeez, okay. I'm curious to see what the top speed is down the back straight. Let's see, into the mini carousel now. See, I overshot it. Overshot the mini carousel. That's bad. I need to work on that. Gee, that's the first time I've overshot the mini carousel in a long time. Like, I don't think I've missed the mini carousel by that bad since like probably since about the first time one of the first couple of times I raced around this track. I guess I need to work on that still. Oh my god, this thing is flying down the straights though. 154, 155 now. Dude, it's going uphill doing 160 almost. Dude. 165 mile an hour in a four-door sedan. That is freaking fast. Is that faster than the standard than the stock Mustang? I think it might be 755.765. This is a four-door sedan that just did under 8 minutes around the Nürburgring bone stock. Oh my god. That's insane. Like, I know it may not seem like it, but that's properly insane. Sub 8 minutes in a sedan? This thing's crazy. And that's stock. Almost makes me wonder what it can do fully upgraded as long as it keeps the wheel spin down. Next up, circle course. Gonna see how well this thing holds a drift. Oh, this thing's drifting. Man, this thing's drifting easy. This thing don't even gotta try to do it. It's just drifting no problem. Redlining in second gear at like, what is that, 8,500 RPM? It's just doing it. And actually, I just realized 8,500 RPM. That's a lot. That seems like a lot for an NA V8, doesn't it? Like, even the supercharged V8s and things like the Shelby GT500 or the Dodge Charger Hellcat or Challenger Hellcat, usually engines like those will rev to like 7,500 RPM and then hit the red line. This thing red lines at 8,500 on a naturally aspirated V8. That's high. Well, like, I feel like it's higher than what it would typically be, but like, and I don't have a problem with it. I'm gonna say that right now. I don't have a problem with the revving high. It's just, it's really different. I'm not used to it. Okay, so this thing is doing 10 laps that are about 15 seconds each. So what is that? 150 seconds. So just over. So that's like 2.5 minutes added onto the video right here from this. Okay. So I'm probably gonna do one more track, probably around Fuji Speedway again, since I haven't done that track in an actual video yet. So we'll see how this thing does going around Fuji. I'm thinking it's gonna be all right, judging by how it did around Nürburgring, because Fuji is a lot more of a wide open track, in my opinion. At least in terms of how wide the actual track is, it's a lot wider than Nürburgring, but we'll see. We'll see what it can do. 15 seconds dead was my best lap, which, like, obviously I can do better than that, but I wasn't really trying to because I was drifting. Let's go ahead and go to Fuji for the last task of this video for this car. And then I'll go ahead and give my final, guess you could say my final judgment on the car before I end it off. Definitely not doing 10 laps, because that's a very long time on this track. Gonna see how this thing works. Spins through first, hooks in second at like 50 mile an hour, 45 to 50 mile an hour. And then the power is strong. The power band is kind of up high, but I'd rather have a higher power band on the NA engine than having to wait for boost to kick in on a turbocharged car. Not saying anything about GTR people though. Not saying anything about them. Okay, brake. I braked way too early actually. In. Whoop. See, there's that thing I was talking about earlier with the back end I'm gonna kick out. And brake. That might be too late. That might be too late. No, that was actually just about perfect. I just let off the brakes a little bit too early. Okay. In. Follow through. There we go. That was a nice line through that corner. So let's try this here. In. Okay. A little bit of traction loss on the way out. This is the big corner right here. This guy. Oh, no. Of all the places you could decide to do the aero glitch, that's where you want to do it. Are you kidding me? Dang, I was doing so good, too. I was doing so well. I was on the route to doing like an under 2-minute lap, I think, yeah, I'm definitely under that. Definitely going to be over that now. Dang, that sucks. 142 I did on the back straight before the line. 203.5. Honestly, I feel like that's pretty good for Fuji, actually. I feel like that's pretty good. But with that being said, that is going to be the summary of the challenges for this. My final verdict on this BMW. Do I think it's worth 100 grand? Do I think it's worth 110,000 grand? $110,000? No, not quite. I feel like it probably would be worth 110 grand if it came stock just a little bit lighter, like maybe 1750 kilograms or 1700 instead of 1820. But because of that extra weight and that little body roll, you know, it was fine around Nürburgring. It wasn't necessarily a problem, but I feel like it could have just a lot better performance if it did without it. I do think I did get fairly decent power for how much money I spent. I mean, I know I could have got a lot better probably, but that's still pretty good. I just, like I said, this thing is only 10,000 grand cheaper than the GTR in this game, stock for stock. And I definitely don't think it's GTR money worth it, but like, I definitely don't think this is 10 grand below GTR money either. Would I pay around 95, like between 90 and 100 grand, somewhere in there, to buy this car again for this same performance? Yes, I probably would, but to make it worth 110 grand, in my opinion, it would need less body roll, a little bit less weight on it, and then I think it would be a lot better. That's going to be it for the video though. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and also, of course, go ahead and follow me on my TikTok page at Chance Shady's YT, as well as Harry at Haza_EGS on TikTok as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. Talk to you guys later.